Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Stormworks. We are back working on our frigate, and in today's episode, we don't really have too much going on. I'm just going to do a bunch of air conditioning because I'm a crazy man. So that's really what we got in store. So if you guys don't know how to do air conditioning, this will probably be a pretty good educational video for you. And if you do know how to do air conditioning, this is going to be a really repetitive video for you because the entire ship is getting air conditioning. So that is kind of the plan with this one. But yeah, that's really all we're doing. I'm going to kind of explain how we're going to do it, but if you notice, we have these light green pipes kind of running all over the place. Those are going to be our coolant. I guess you can call them coolant. Really, it's just going to be seawater. Now, a cool thing about Stormworks is everywhere where the ambient temperature is warmer than you want to be, the ocean is colder than the ambient temperature. So in other terms, the ocean is always colder than the air. You can take advantage of this to make air conditioning, and that's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to use cryo coolers. I don't like the cryo coolers. I think they're horrible. They're just not really efficient enough to be useful. My kind of use case for those would be like, I think they're really good for like a box truck or something like that. But even at that, you really need to kind of almost keep it cold at all times for them to be useful. But anyways, I'm ranting. This air conditioning will only work on ships. Obviously, you need a seawater supply, but it works basically by using the air liquid heat exchangers. You're going to pump seawater in through the air liquid heat exchangers and then back into the ocean. And then on the other side, you're just going to suck air in and push it back out into the room. So a portion of this is kind of making sure that some of your rooms are sealed up enough or that you can move enough air that you're going to actually heat them. I like to use those medium-ish heat exchangers there. I think they're like 5x3s or 7x3s or I don't know. But that one I found I like to use the most, but I also like using these inline pumps a lot of the times just because it'll help me save on space. Right now we are just hooking up this air conditioning for this top floor, and this one's a little bit tricky just because of where it's placed. It is nice because we have all of this room back here to hide it, but it is not super nice because, well, we need an intake and a port to push the air out, and ideally they're not going to be right next to each other, so we might want to move those around, separate them a little bit. That depends really on what the floor is doing later on. But for the meantime, as long as we just get this sucking air in from the same room as it's pushing air out of, then it should be fine. Not really that big of a deal. And you know, to be fair, like this isn't going to be super, super fast, but I will say this system is going to be a lot faster than using a cryo cooler. So if you do have a ship and you want to do this, this is definitely how I would do it. The other really fun and cool thing about this system is if you want to do vents on the walls, you can make real actual vents now. And what I mean, you can use the filled in pipe blocks with the air part or the fluid ports, and you can run vents along the ceilings and the walls, and just as long as you're using pipes, you can push air into whatever part of the ship that you need to cool or heat. And I think that's like kind of the fun part of it. So we are going a little crazy with the plumbing on this ship. Just kind of my thing. I like doing a lot of plumbing. It's a part of the game I enjoy, so we're going to do a lot of it. But yeah, that is pretty much the gist of what you're trying to do here with the air conditioning on the ships is just suck air in, take the air, cool it down with the seawater that is cooler than the air, push the air back into the room. And this will work quite well if you optimize it well enough. You can get obviously it's a little dependent on your location, but depending on how you do it, you can get the temperatures close to freezer temp. You can't really get below freezer temp, obviously, but you can get definitely to like refrigeration temperatures, and it's definitely, I think it's a very cool, fun thing to mess around with if you are bored. So, but I'm also wild. I'm also a little crazy. I feel like I'm the only lunatic on this game that enjoys the piping part of it. So I guess if you're not like me, then don't do it because you don't need to, which will save you a lot more headaches than it saved me. All right, well, you just saw basically the same thing over. I just did it with a larger heat exchanger and some more pumps, more ports, and that is because this is for the main floor down here. So I'll probably add like another small one here or there, probably more towards the bow. That's just to help this one out a lot. You got to keep in mind that the volume of space that it's going to have to cool down here is a lot larger than upstairs. So obviously I wanted the larger heat exchanger, but this is kind of the fun little venting thing I was talking about earlier, where you can use the actual pipes to do decorational vents, but they actually work. So if you have your tooltips on, basically it'll be really, really nice, because when you turn on the air conditioning, you will see like a couple hundred liters per second flowing out of the vents, which is kind of cool. So that is just a little side effect of doing your air conditioning if you choose to. Again, if you are new to the game, there's literally no point to doing this. Do not do this. This is a waste of time. I'm doing it because I go a little wild with the details, and I like to try to chase realism a little bit more than I probably should. So that is really the gist of it. I'm just adding a little heater there, and yeah, we'll just spawn it in the real world. So I don't want to bore you guys with just building air conditioners all episodes, so I guess we will just spawn this in the world. We'll kind of check it out. We'll look around, walk around. You guys can see it thus far, and obviously there's some little changes here and there that have made in between the episodes, like we'll go over here and we'll check on all of this. Now this space back here I chose to put the air conditioner back here just because this is like a really awkward space. I don't think it'll be able to be used too much, so it's going to be more like utilities and storage. So we'll probably cram a couple more things in over there, but we'll go upstairs. You can hear the air conditioning absolutely hissing throughout this ship, and you can see the temperature is going down pretty much everywhere on the ship. So I have all of the air conditioners on right now. And we are just going to see how quickly we can cool down this entire ship. Now the air conditioning is set to, I think right now it's set to 20 degrees Celsius, and there's some delay timers. So as long as it's close to 20 degrees, that's good. But that means we've got to shave off about 10 degrees right now. So you can see it's moving, and it's definitely moving a lot faster than the cryo pumps can do it. But it's still, obviously, it's not a quick process. You're cooling the air. So there's quite a lot of it. If you haven't, look around. Sorry, but yeah, there's a lot of air, so it's going to take a while. I'm just going to sit here and kind of watch this for a little bit, and you guys can see that it is doing its thing. Now, I will say it's got diminishing returns the lower you go, obviously. In a couple minutes here, we'll walk back over to the air conditioner, and you guys can kind of take a peek at all the temps. But really the big thing that I would also recommend you make sure you have when you're doing this is a high flow rate. The flow rate's going to really, really help you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a super high flow rate on the seawater side of things, but you need to have a really, really high flow rate on the air side of things. Another thing about that is the seawater doesn't need to be going as fast, because the seawater is the thing that you are not putting energy, or you're putting energy into, you're not drawing it out of. So if you move the air a little bit faster, and Stormworks might not work this way, I'm just kind of talking, but if you move the air faster and the water slower, generally it would be a little bit better for you. So and anyways, enough of that. Just make sure you have a flow rate. I recommend, really, if you can get the water over 20 liters, 30 liters a second, that'll be probably enough. I would try to shoot for triple digits with the air, though. If you're not really seeing triple digits with the air circulation, it's going to take way too long, and we are back. So nice little just me sitting still, and we will look around a little bit more, but that is pretty much all we got for this one. I know this episode was a little bit short today, guys. I'm sorry. Life's kind of been crazy. My schedule's probably going to have to change soon. I think I'm going to have to travel a little bit here for work coming up. And that'll definitely throw a wrench in things if I have to be gone for a week here or there. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated with that, but I do want to get you guys some consistent episodes still. So you guys will, if we do change the schedule, I will tell you right now, it will go to 2 videos a week, not 3. So we'll do at least 2 videos a week still, I promise. One on Saturday, and then probably either one on Tuesday or one on Wednesday. But other than that, I don't know. So I gotta find out a little bit more, and also I need to, I guess, just maybe prepare a little bit better. But these videos do take a little bit of time to edit, and it's not like I can just spend 4 or 5 hours a week doing YouTube stuff right now. And that is after I record the video. So it's a lot more than 4 or 5 hours. By the time you guys get an episode, I probably wrap up 4 hours into one episode, 5 hours into one episode. So, it's not the easiest. It is a time commitment. So I don't know. I'm once I have an actual set in stone plan, I'll let you know. But I do apologize. I know this episode's a little bit shorter, but next episode, I promise, we will get into working on the hangar in the back. That'll be a fun one. We're going to do a lot of decoration in that one. But other than that, that's really all I got for you guys in this one. So as always, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. If you guys like this build series, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Before I go, I'll say go check out the recent build I just released. The other series that we're going to be doing, the flying aircraft carrier, it's really cool. I want you to participate in my build challenge. It'll be coming out soon. If you want a head start, there is a link to the Discord down below also, guys. I did send in some of the files, but yeah. That's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.